違うかな。うん。美しくなりたい写真には写らない美しさがあるからリンダリンダリンダリンダリンダ
Those were members of a high school rock group rediscovering a classic song from Japanese pop-punk band The Blue Hearts in the 2005 movie Linda, Linda, Linda. Directed by Nobuhiro Yamashita, the film takes place at a high school during its cultural festival. 3 days before their scheduled performance, an all-female rock group composed of high school seniors are dealt a setback when they lose 2 of their members. One when she injures her hand during phys ed class, and the other after she quits over an argument with another member. Out of desperation, their keyboardist takes over for their injured guitarist, and they recruit the Korean exchange student as their main vocalist, even though her Japanese is still shaky. To compound their difficulties even more, they decide to learn a new set, cover versions of songs by the Blue Hearts. This movie is proof that you can have a charming, feel-good film without resorting to Hollywood tropes. The member who quits at the beginning of the film doesn't join a band of stuck-up rivals who sabotage the protagonists at every turn. There's no closed-minded school official who attempts to shut down the rock concert before it can even begin. A big-time music producer with a record contract isn't there to reward the girls at the end. Linda, Linda, Linda is a slice-of-life movie about 4 girls practicing like mad so that they can perform at their school festival. There are a couple of subplots involving budding teenage romance, but their outcomes aren't the same as what you would get from a typical mainstream film. And the band does encounter one adversity that has appeared in many other stories involving live performances. However, the setup for it is subtle and amusing, so this movie's reuse of that cliché can be forgiven. The ensemble cast is made up of actresses who came to the film with varying levels of experience, in terms of both acting and music. Yu Kashi, who plays Kei, the leader and keyboardist turned guitarist, appeared in only one other motion picture before this, as the lead heroine in the World War II sci-fi movie Lorelei, released the same year as Linda, Linda, Linda. Like her character, she has prior experience playing the piano, but had to learn to play the guitar for the film. Shiori Sekine is the bassist for the real-life rock band Baseball Bear, and her playing the most reserved of the main characters, Nozomi, is fitting given her lack of acting experience. Playing drummer Kyoko is Aki Maeda, who is most famous for the brutal and satirical dystopian classic Battle Royale, and is one of the 2 veterans, relatively speaking, belonging to the main cast. Coincidentally, she had some experience playing the drums while in elementary school, but still had to practice every day to prepare for the movie. The other veteran is Bae Do-na, the Korean actress who plays exchange student Son. She appeared in other movies in her native country prior to this, including Park Chan-wook's Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. She admitted to director Yamashita when asked to be in the film that she wasn't a good singer. However, it's her acting ability that shines, and she steals every scene that she's in, whether it's her character arguing with a clerk at a karaoke bar, or her reaction before performing publicly for the first time. Aside from the Blue Hearts, the movie's soundtrack comes from James Iha, ex-guitarist for the Smashing Pumpkins. However, don't expect to hear the sound of his former band. Instead, the music is simple and low-key, fitting with the general tone and pace of the movie. It's the latter with which some people may have a problem. A generation of audience members have grown up with movies made by directors of music videos. Anytime you describe a movie's pacing as deliberate, such as with this movie, some people will automatically equate it with slow. Combining that with the fact that the plot doesn't really feature major conflicts or turns, these people may ultimately dismiss Linda, Linda, Linda as boring, particularly for a movie centered around rock and roll. However, they would also be dismissing a movie that is, in the end, a celebration of youth. One may have noticed the term girls being used during this review to refer to the characters, instead of a term with more age-neutral or mature denotations. This usage is deliberate, for the characters view themselves as children. When Kei is asked what the point is for going ahead with their scheduled performance despite losing 2 of their members, the reply is, "There is no point," an answer familiar to any adult who has ever questioned a young person's motivations for doing something seemingly nonsensical. However, a major underlying reason for Kei and the other characters, including the amateur filmmakers seen repeatedly during the movie, is the desire to hold on to their fleeting childhoods for as long as they can while adulthood looms near the horizon. What better way for the main characters to celebrate their childhoods than through one of the ultimate expressions of youth, rock and roll? The movie has been available on Japanese DVD since 2006, and Viz Media released it with English subtitles on North American DVD in 2007. However, those who are interested in this version but understand neither Japanese nor Hangul should take note. There are times during the movie when Hangul is spoken instead of Japanese, but unlike the theatrical version seen at English language film festivals, the subtitles on the DVD don't differentiate the two languages. This difference is significant in a couple of scenes, especially when it hints at the setup for the problem confronted by the group late in the film. If you're a fan of the series The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, you may be interested in watching this and then the Live Alive episode of the anime to see the various homages made by the latter towards the former. For those interested in watching an atypical movie about youth and rock and roll, and are willing to risk listening to the earworm that the movie derives its name from, Linda 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 may be just the film for you.